right, hello everybody. My name is Dr. Joe Vertino, spiritual guide, author, musician, and Reiki master here, Usui. I have some beautiful music playing in the background, and this video is how do we all properly attain nirvana? So this motion that I just made of being with myself and still being still, and a very intentional act, right? If you ask the people who understand body language, right, it's a very intentional act to be here and to have your hands come up and be present here. And there's a activity going on in it, right? It's like I remember in singing, they would say having the buzz in your face, in your mask, that when you sing, it resonates, with you in a certain way. So this intention of an activeness, in context of the entirety of our understanding throughout our all possible knowledge of this motion, and then staying still is an answer, or the answer, to the proposed purpose of this video: how do we all properly attain nirvana? Now, if you understand that I didn't mention prayer, and really it's just an act of moving my hands, and also the activity itself is stillness. So, but what you can understand in this video is that it's involving all of myself, right? So I'm here, and there's an intention that raises the hands, and the hands now are occupied. So we can't do, right? We can't do anything. There's nothing that we can achieve. And it's all of our attention, right, and potential is incorporated into this. Okay? So what is this? Our hands are here and we're safe, physically safe. We're aware of our surroundings, right? And then basically there's a very clear 100%, preferably that, be 100%, so to speak, my personal will and intention involving all of myself is bringing my hands up to my center, right? To my anahata, as they say in Sanskrit, your heart chakra. And you bring it up here like this. There's a stillness that happens. I'm being still. So now let's unpack that with some words. So there's a word in Tibetan language. So anahata is Sanskrit, Tibetan language, called prajna. 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 Prajna is exactly what is filling this entire video. It's the sacred wisdom acquired throughout a soul's incarnations from choice making that comes through the being in this current lifetime. That properly leads all other souls to nirvana. In that way, there's 2 points here. The first point is this first thing I introduced. All of your being and intention is purely being focused here, and what is the point of it, of the focus, is stillness. And that's it. So the next point that I have in this video is prajna, and the definition of prajna was what? Sacred wisdom acquired throughout the incarnations by good choice making that properly leads all other souls to nirvana. So if that is true, which it is, then we can conclude, or 100% purely logically, like as a fact, then what would be the thing that leads all that would be the way to properly attain nirvana is to imitate the prajnic teacher, right? So what did they do through their incarnation, so to speak? They made choice after choice that were good choices that bred communion with truth. So that's the same for us. So us living in a way that is in alignment with that. That's all. So we have two things so far. The first one is the intention with all of your being, which is mention the hands. So you bringing the hands into here and being here, and my fingers are like on my chin. So doing this allows you to be resonant what is meant to be. Okay? So, and in that there's a trust that starts to happen. But if you understand that there's no context, so there's no I'm trusting in, or I'm avoiding thus and so to speak. So in that way, you're just practice this, which is a aligned, professionally given, spiritual, practical life exercise. Everybody. It's not, it's for everybody. I'm a Leo, so I speak in generalities, and it's true. So basically, so that's this in this way where you have the pure intention to simply be still with all what you are, and that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the understanding, the logical deduction of what prajna is well, if that teacher is what's going to help everybody properly attain nirvana, what did they do to become that teacher? And it's the same for me. So that is making good choices, basically, just consistently, right? When there's choices to be made. And yes. Okay, so we have one is the actual completely personal purification of the intention to commune with stillness alone. One, how to properly attain nirvana. First one. Second one is using your free will properly, because there is always a positive choice. So we can say in that way, to me, the foundational truth of Buddhism, I'm a Zen Buddhist, is do no harm. So that's the second one, is making those good choices throughout your life. So, and then the third one is that I'm coming up with right now is, so for example, right now I'm sitting here and I can show you what I'm looking at. I'm in Buffalo and we just got some snow in the year 2024 and it's early December. So snow, this is snow. So we have white snow here. So I'm sitting here, this is another roof. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm upstairs, right? See outside, other houses, beautiful tree over here. Look how beautiful that is. Look how lovely. Isn't that beautiful? In context, a dark brown, in context of this beautiful white. So my intention here is I'm sitting, the snow has fallen naturally on this roof. It's not a threat to me, and I'm fine here, and I'm sitting, and I'm safe, and enjoying life, so to speak, and helping life, certainly. So as I'm sitting here, what the exercise is to allow this thing So imagine the snow. It's like a blank canvas. So you ever go to the art store and you're going to do art and you have a blank canvas. So it's like the snow. It's like a white square. So literally that's what I'm seeing, right? It's like the window is the square, right? So the window is the square, right? That the phone is sitting on, and then the white snow is like the blank canvas. So the blank canvas is if we allow ourselves to be here, and so this is the third exercise. Allow the harmful natures, to use some kind of word, the harmful entity in you to die in the presence of the blankness. So what I mean by that is that the snow is here, and you, if you're sitting, just sit and you look at the snow, and you can notice if there's any tendency in you to want to harm, right? And you allow that to for example, if I was to say to myself, well, the harmful nature can project onto the snow, right? And then you're sitting here and you feel that hate or harmful tendency you projecting onto the snow, the blankness of the snow, which isn't a person or place or thing, right? It's just snow, but it's blank. So this exercise is allowing that harmful tendency to dissolve like the snow does in the sunshine. So these are exercises of for all of us how to properly attain nirvana. So will of your being, having the intention to be still, and that's it. So, and then as you do this, because it's an exercise, as you do this, you start to amplify the energy of trust. Okay? And so that's the first exercise, right? So enlightenment isn't something that per se will just, you certainly can't make it happen in the sense of like lightning bolt hitting you on the head. That's why I'm giving you these exercises. And if you look at the description, we all have a life to live. And we're in it together, and you're beautiful. I know from a universal wavelength that you're beautiful. So the power, so here's one, what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is loving on you, but I'm a very specific person. I'm a spiritual guide. So for example, if I wasn't here, you would be alone with the snow, right? If you were like me right now. So that's called grace of the guru, to be honest, is what that is. So that's the fourth part. The fourth part is the grace of the guru. So the spiritual guide, and that's completely out of your control, so to speak, because you're never going to be that person, and that person's never going to be you. And, as long as you recognize that, then you're good to go. Meaning that can go into that as fully as you can. As fully as you can, right? In this lifetime. Resonate with that person, with that soul, that spiritual guide, like myself. So what was I just doing? I said, I know, with a K, you are beautiful. So that as you that experience is needed, so to speak, also for all of us to properly attain nirvana. So we have 4 things right there. 4 of them. So then yeah. And I would say the 5th one in that way is basically optimizing health. So optimizing your health, of course, in that way, we understand that us being healthy, and this might be a big, hugely important thing, Mr. Leo, big. a big, hugely important thing for us all is that if we have a motivation to be healthy, so our motivation to be healthy is what? Well, the biggest possible thing of all the universe of properly attaining nirvana. So if you ask people, seriously, if you ask psychologists, if you ask food nutritionists, and you ask these people that they're clients and they've helped, and they say, well, you know what, Dr. Bob, the psychologist I had in the past, I went to a psychologist and I was talking about nutrition stuff, and I was trying to get myself on track with being healthy, right? Healthy, just generally. And it fell through. And we both were obviously upset or sad or whatever. I mean, I wasn't my doctor, right? Just like I'm not my spiritual teacher, right? Or anybody else ever, forever. Or even the snow outside, right? But, and I failed. Why did I fail? Because I didn't have what you just said. The proper, real foundational motivation. So, for example, the ultimate reality, the discovery of the ultimate reality is the best possible foundation to be motivated from forever. Guaranteed, says Mr. Leo. That one feels real. So basically in that, you have that, right? So if you wake up in the morning and you don't have a foundation, or what I called in one video was the how to get better in 15 minutes on my YouTube, a push-off place. Like in the Olympic Games, they'll do the Olympic swimming, and there's a rectangle, and they'll swim down the thing, and then they'll flip over in the water, and they'll push off with their feet, and they'll back the other direction. And as they go back the other direction, you have to push off, right? Or like if you're in a boat, you're sailing, right? And you have the boat, like in Buddhism, we have that mantra, the Heart Sutra mantra, right? Gate gate pada gate pada sam gate bodhisvaha. I didn't feel like singing it apparently. Gate gate pada sam gate bodhisvaha. So that's the Heart mantra, Heart Sutra mantra. So that's about this understanding of going to the other shore. So the other shore is nirvana, final nirvana. And in particular, it's about all of the souls attaining final nirvana. And there's a reason we have another word in there, man, or the bodhisattva, right? The bodhisattvas, what have you, that are about facilitating the divine will of all souls properly attaining final nirvana. So they're the ones, if we get in the boat, and then what do we have to do? We have to push off, right? So we're pushing off. So what's our push-off place? So we need a foundational motivation. As a human being, we understand it psychologically now in a very serious field of science in the world. So the motivation ultimately being us and our true and lasting freedom. That's a very real thing, nirvana. So let's recapitulate. We have we have 5 things in here. So the intention with all of your being to be still, doing that regularly. And notice I didn't say succeeding or failing at it. Just the intention with all of your being to be still. Number 1, how for all of us to properly nirvana. Number 2, was number 2. I forgot number 2. Teacher. So, shiz. What was number? Oh, imitating the prajnik, the teacher. What did they do? So when you are acting, making good choices consistently throughout your life, based on the foundation of doing no harm, right? So this is an alone experience, the first one. Number two is everything with other people experiences, right? So the other side of life in that way. Making those good choices that would encourage you yourself to become more wise. Would encourage, yeah, that's what number two is, right? So making those choices that allow your soul to blossom, right? And then number three is the snow example. That here we're allowing ourselves to have a self-honest experience, honest with ourselves, not closing ourselves off from that. And the example I gave is it's not quite that you have to have your eyes closed, but you'll notice that all facilitate and work in tandem with meditation. But number three is the snow example, that you're here and there's a blank canvas, which is not causing harm. But you are here with the blank canvas and allowing the energies in you, or tendencies, whatever you have, that would be harmful to be fully experienced and acknowledged without, in that way, consciousness, right? And as you allow that to the case, then you allow them to begin to dissolve. And you'll also, we could say, is self-inquiry, in the sense that you'll begin to learn about your true self, your authentic self. And a lot of the times that harmful energy is a block, like a locked door to that authentic true self. So that's three. Number four is connection with the spiritual guide. So allowing and doing what you can to manifest, to make that experience a reality in your life is number four. Connecting to the spiritual teacher, knowing that you're not them and they're not you, and allowing yourself to go fully into that experience with them, that relationship fully, knowing that it's not any other people, that it's only you and that one other being, and allowing that relationship to be completely happening. Okay, that's all. So we have four. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, so that's 4. And then the fifth one was generally being healthy, right? Which we understand that means. But with the foundational motivation under it of properly attaining nirvana. Now, yes. So that we have 5 great exercises for all of us to properly attain nirvana. So, I have tons of videos on my YouTube, everybody. I have 2 channels, Joe Vertino, Joevertino, and Joseph Vertino, Joseph Tons of videos, over 220, 30 videos on there. And they're all great. And you'll find a variety, I guess you could say, of experiences, and expression throughout all of my content. I also have books and what else? Music and podcasts and other material, different people, and yeah, all of that wonderful stuff. And feel free to contact me and reach out to me, message me for whatever reason. I pray that you get that you're doing okay today, and I pray that you get an aligning response, obviously, in that way. I know being someone that is a loving, kind individual, and also, as you can tell, is not withholdent, to use some kind of cool word, meaning I don't withhold, I don't have that in me. I am just simply here as myself, and then the truth is what I'm resonant with, and then in that resonation, I'm here, and you can experience that, which is meant to be. which is my dharma as a teacher, is to do that, educate. So yes, so thank you for tuning in. We have 5 exercises on here for us all to properly attain nirvana. Yes, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here at the end, as a Reiki master, Reiki is the optimum healing modality that we have available to us as a species. There is something called the 5 Reiki principles that are absolutely for everybody, and they are very relevant to the topic of this video, and I'll conclude this little speech about Reiki. That we, as a tradition, as I mentioned the word foundation, and foundation like a push-off place, right? A foundation from which we can live and be motivated and grounded in, centered in. And so that foundation, the tradition of Reiki is a utterly secure and safe and well-meaning and well-achieving tradition for everybody. So that certainly helps with all of us attaining nirvana. It's incapable of causing harm, so it's not something that you have to try to make better as you're to take it into your life. So there's a great relief in that. And as I mentioned, first exercise is about opening the trust that occurs. So that's how that happens. Yes. And then basically from there, you understand as you practice the 5 Reiki principles, the second part of the good actions, making good choices consistently, all these things manifest in that. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. All right. Amen. Please share, subscribe. Angel blessings. All right. La da dee.